How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Welcome to Podcaster's Choice series on Night of the Living Podcast. My name is Freddy. It's my pick this week.
It's my pick.
Mine! Heavy metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The animated...
Titstravaganza.
Titstravaganza anthology film from 1981.
God forbid you see a penis, but man, there's
You saw a
bush
Yeah,
for
you saw
like
a penis.
30 seconds.
You saw a penis, though.
And then there were a bunch of phallic imagery throughout the rest. But
Yeah.
Amy's here.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't good enough.
Andy is here.
My titties.
Can I sleep with you, Frank? Mikey B is here.
That's Mikey B. I've seen lots of areolas this week.
Yeah. And Kelly's here, and he's going to have the roulette movie later, The Hatred.
Also, did Fifth Element realize that it had already been done before? We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I think it was... I think he deliberately did that.
Yeah, but it's real.
Hey, heavy metal called Fifth Element and wants its
story back
and
imagery and everything else.
And it's
I do love Fifth. I'm just saying.
flower petal
It's,
areolas.
every time I watch heavy metal, I see a little bit more Fifth Element, and this time I was like, "Holy shit!" That entire first 20 minutes is fucking Fifth Element, completely.
But we're seeing heavy metal in Fifth Element as opposed to the other way around, right?
Hey,
No,
we'll
wait.
get there. We'll
Yeah,
get there.
no,
Heavy
yeah.
metal came first. So
heavy metal came first.
Yeah,
by,
heavy metal came
by a
first.
long time. By a long shot.
Yes,
By a long time.
I love you long time.
I love you long time. Forever and always.
So we got some birthday boy to celebrate. Freddie.
Birthday.
Freddie is now 40.
Happy
I
birthday.
am
He's
40.
40 and fabulous.
40 is a great age. I shit you not. I felt younger at 40 than at 30. I hope
I do.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I'm not herniated right now.
That's good.
That's good. I got
Oh,
that
we had to
going
say
for
it. Lordy, Lordy, Freddy's 40.
Oh, Mike and Freddie and Kelly are all deep
me. I will tell
in
you.
their middle age.
Get over here, shorty. This dick is 40. That's what we're changing it
I
to.
can't wait till you guys turn 50.
I got a great compliment at
'cause
work.
it's nifty, 50.
Somebody I said, they found out I had turned 40, and they were like, "Oh, if we had known you were going to turn 40, we would have done more in Decorator Cube." And they had me guess way younger.
Well, what
What'd
did
they think?
say?
They didn't say exact numbers, but way
39.
younger.
You
It
could
was
tell in
way
their
younger.
eyes.
38.
They said I was the healthiest president they had ever had.
They're like, your asshole looks like it's only 31.
Inches from the ground.
Oh.
That's actually accurate.
I know. That's
Yeah.
why that joke is so good.
It is.
Yeah, well, I turned
my
38 this
instinct.
week.
Yeah.
So Andy and I are still holding it down.
38
in the 30s.
is great. So you can rhyme that one too.
38.
You guys
Feeling
are
great at
basically-
38?
Mate.
We're
You're-
bringing down the average way down for
Yeah.
You
for
guys
this
are basically
podcast.
elders of your 30s and we're
Uh-huh.
infants of our 40s. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
We're freshman babies.
So, we were merely freshmen.
Whatever helps,
Oh.
whatever helps you sleep at night.
We have some other birthdays, listener and friend birthdays. Ben Buckingham, Will McReady,
Good day, Ben. Is
and
that how you do that?
And Bearded
Yeah.
Brad.
JJJ.
Yes, it is that time of year where I feel like everyone I know is just it's the onslaught. We call it that every year. It's just constant birthdays.
A lot of
And it's like,
birthdays in
"Ah!"
January. A lot of people I meet have birthdays in January.
Yeah.
I wonder what month has the highest level of birthdays.
feel like
Means we're
it's
all like
September.
cycling together.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're all synced up.
We're
Yeah.
all synced up.
Our mom's uteruses.
Our uteri, our mom's uteri. are
Oh
all-
yeah, like Lois had the master vagina then.
Yeah, she
She
did.
was the first.
She was the first.
The master vagina.
She
Does
was-
that make you feel good to hear?
definitely?
Who rules Bartertown? Master vagina?
So good
She was
job,
like,
Lois.
I give birth to
Bigs
a
up.
new age.
And then all our moms stepped in line and
Yeah.
said,
Mhm.
"Get pregnant."
Yep.
I want to.
And they did.
I want to give a big thank you to Mandy Arthur, who just jumped up from the $10 to the Beelzebub level.
Yay, Mandy! Thank you.
Mandy.
She's awesome. She's a longtime listener. I follow you on Instagram, as you know.
We love you, long time.
Yeah.
And
Now,
that came just in time because if you don't know how Patreon works, you're in a state of flux. You gain people, you lose people. We've been.
It's like my
we
weight.
love you.
We some days I just can't control it. I call it a cheat day. But you fluctuate, and our equilibrium has maintained. So we've been able to continue to pay down the studio renovation, and that's because of you. Patreon.com/NOTLP. That's special stuff we're doing. We're doing coverage of the new X-Files season.
We bought tickets to Kelly Clarkson's tour.
Did you?
No, I'm joking. I was just saying.
Because she's saying because of you.
Yeah. Oh, I gotcha. We've been trying to get to the theater to do more new release discussions.
I got my movie pass.
Amy got her movie pass, so we'll have more of those.
But you're still not. No, I don't want to see dumb films. Don't bring me to films.
It came in the mail this week.
Yeah, we all have movie pass now. Andy has been doing Late to the Party, which they just did The Room.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of good shit on there.
Well, we
Night
have
of the Comic will return soon.
We'll
have
probably
one-
add more.
we have one
Yeah.
episode in the can that's recorded in the summer that's not out yet.
Yeah, because it has to be late
Yeah.
to fit
Oh.
the
I'm
theme.
not sure anybody has any problems out there they want to talk to Mikey B about.
So
I
always
love.
Have a problem.
the
Yeah.
most
Create a problem
Create
and
a
then
problem.
send it
Make
I
it
in.
want to talk to you about my new therapist and sometimes how I feel awkward.
Ooh.
How am I supposed to be in that room?
I love talking about therapists.
Yeah.
maybe you guys should.
I
Just
like
do it.
her
Yeah, we'll do it.
right now.
Right.
So anyway, there's lots
Not
of
right
toys
now.
in there. Oh, okay.
Not
She
right
must
now.
be a
Save
play
it.
Ooh, what
therapist.
kind of toys?
Or a sex therapist.
Child toys.
Oh, damn it.
I also want to welcome Dustin Chisholm, our buddy, to the Patreon fold.
Hey,
Hey,
Dustin.
Dustin.
What's up, bro?
We've met him. He's a sweet guy.
He is a sweet guy. We'll be going to the No Sleep tour together.
Here's
in
what
March.
I need to tell our listeners. Per Paul Ryan, we've got this extra $1.50 a week now.
Oh,
So give that to your favorite horror podcast. You could go pay for your Costco membership with it. Clearly, that's what most of the secretaries at schools in Lancaster, Pennsylvania are doing.
That's $6 a month. Or if you look at it this way,
Paul Ryan's a fucking fuckface.
you could sign up at the $5 level,
But if you got that extra $1.50, I mean, heck.
and that would pay for it. You won't even miss it, and you'll help us keep doing what we're doing. And you would get
Is it pre-tax or after-tax?
an NOTLP pin
Yep.
every year. And all that extra content. And any other surprises I can come up with, which I'm hoping once the studio is paid for, we'll have a lot more surprises coming to you in the mail.
Nude photo shoots.
Yeah.
Already in the bag.
An actual piece of one of our anuses if we have to have a surgery like
All
in
right,
the movie
Freddie.
Wetlands.
Tell us about Wetlands.
Oh, I saw Wetlands. Oh, actually, you know
Oh
what?
yeah,
Now
you should
mention
just
it.
read the tweet
I
thread.
think
yeah,
Andy almost unfriended you in real life.
Yeah.
I saw the movie too, per your tweets.
This is
I was
true.
trying to take a nap.
Oh, I had to take my watch off because
Yeah.
I was taking a shower and I'm like, oh, I'm all centered. It's like,
Yeah, sorry about that.
I had to have my phone. I had to keep it on because Millie was at the groomer. I was waiting for the call, so I just had to keep hearing ding, ding, ding. I'm trying to sleep.
Well,
here.
honestly, Elise loves playing with Freddie. Like she loves like
Yeah.
Egging
little
on.
texts.
I think it's really fun.
yeah. She
very
she
fun.
was having a great time.
I like it when somebody pushes. That's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying just push back to push back.
Yeah.
But when you push back, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Have you seen Wetlands? This is my text to the group. Have you seen Wetlands? By the way, so far it's fantastic. I was at like minute 30 maybe.
oh my.
Kelly says I don't know what Wetlands is. Mikey B says I have not, and I say it's on Netflix. Watch it and thank me later. Oh, and don't eat while you're watching it.
Oh, the intrigue's been dropped.
All right.
No,
Elise-
wait. All of these are
Yeah.
separate text messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
If
said
listeners
every
at home want
word.
to play along, imagine
Uh-huh.
either your hand vibrating or your phone going off.
Then I say, or Elise says, yeah, I've never had any desire to see that movie. It
Me
sounds
either.
repulsive.
She knew
Ding.
about it
Yeah.
as soon as I started because I Wikipedia'd it and I started
Yeah.
reading. She was like, "Oh, I know what that is."
Ugh.
And I said, it's plenty gross, but it's also really, really good.
Ding,
That's one text. Then I said, I would compare it to Train Spotting.
ding,
Then I would say, with more sex.
ding, ding.
Then Elise says, yuck. And then I say,
Ding.
and diarrhea.
Ding.
And Elise says, double yuck.
Ding,
And then I say, and hemorrhoids.
ding, ding,
And anal fissures.
ding, ding.
And sex with vegetables.
Ugh.
Floop. I'm changing now. We're in our own text thing.
Everybody's different.
Then Elise says, why would I want to see this? LOL. Lots of love. And I say, because it has a ton of heart, despite all of that.
Floop.
And using pussy juice as perfume.
I have a foghorn sound now.
Then Elise says, yeah, I read a very long review when it first came out and decided it wasn't for me. Ding. Nope. Ding. Big old nope. Ding. Then I say, and a girl shits on a guy's chest. Then I say, but also the human condition, you know.
Bleep.
Then Elise says, spoiler alert.
Ding.
Pass.
Ding.
Hard pass.
That's the worst part of all. Then I say, and a turducken. Ding.
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 And cocaine.
Ding.
And an iguana.
What?
It has an iguana in it, too.
They drink out of it?
Then Elise says, okay, the turducken is the worst
Bob's
part.
Bloop.
Then I say, it looked undercooked, too.
Ding.
Then she says, I changed my answer. Then she says, ew.
Ding.
Then she says, duck emoji.
Duck emoji ding.
Turkey emoji.
Ding.
Chicken emoji.
Ding. She made it turducken.
Getting PTSD again.
Then I say, and skateboarding on a subway train.
Ding.
Then I say, and she eats her boogers too.
Ding.
I'm not
Why
making
was this
any of
movie
this up.
made?
It's all part of the movie.
It's German.
I get it, but gross.
It's German.
Ugh.
Then Kelley
Remember
says,
that.
Kelley says, you guys should have a podcast where Freddy tried to convince Elise to watch movies and call it, yep, nope. LOL. And Elise says, the turducken is skateboarding? Okay, I may be on board for this. I said, I think, oh no. Yeah, I said, I think I'll just read this exchange on the show,
Ding.
which I'm doing now.
Yeah.
What point does Andy start to
soon.
turn on
Oh,
you?
that's coming.
Elise says, I draw the line there, like for real. That can activate my gag reflex just hearing about that.
Ding.
And then she sends a crying, laughing face.
Cry, laugh. Ding.
Then Andy comes in. And he says, I'll watch it if you stop with a text, Freddy. Jeez.
Ding.
And I say, yeah, I've had a few moments where I felt like puking.
Ding.
Then I said, she just puked on a rat.
Ding.
In the movie. Then Elise says, LOL.
Ding.
Then I say, then she adopted it.
Ding.
And then Andy says, calm your tits.
Ding.
And I say, no!
Ding.
And then I send a gif of Aladdin and the monkey from the movie Aladdin saying, start panicking.
It's when they're running away from the fire in the Cave of Wonders.
Yep. Then Kelley says, I'll calm Elise's tit with a massage.
Ding.
Then Andy says, start a new thread and leave me out. Thanks.
Ding.
Thanks.
Then,
I said thanks.
Then Elise likes an image above.
Ding.
And then Kelley says, now whose tits aren't calm? Winky face.
Ding.
And then Elise finds like one of the greatest like
Memes.
I've ever seen with a bad drawing of somebody's tits that are flying out of control, and it says no. Then I say,
Ding.
are you sure, Andy? Because she's saving a piece of her anus that was surgically removed earlier in the film. Don't you want to see where this goes?
Ding.
Then Andy says, I'm fine with the descriptions. I'm not fine with a bajillion texts.
Wow.
Then I send
That's
him...
a guitar riff.
I sent him, as a reply to that, a gif of Freddy coming out in a New Nightmare where he's on the talk show.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're all my children now.
Ding.
Then I said, is your phone getting hot yet, Andy?
Ding.
Then I sent him the internet troll, like goofy face smiley guy. And he says, you mad?
Ding. That was a great little animated GIF, by the way.
You mad?
Then Elise says, she liked an image and she laughed at it as well.
Yeah.
She liked it and laughed
We
at it.
we also laughed for real. That was a literal. That was an LOL, and then it was an LLOL. We literally
An IRL? LOL?
laughed out loud when you posted the little you mad. That was real funny.
Well, at this point, I know that I'm being a jerk, so I said, okay, I'll give it a break. But then something else happened.
Ding.
Except now, her and her friend in the movie start smearing their period blood on each other's faces.
God.
Ding.
And I sent along a gif of a couple of guys throwing up into a fire.
Ding.
And then I said, okay, now I'm done.
Ding.
And Kelley said, is this in German? And then in parentheses, he says, sorry, Andy, this is not an effort to annoy you, just curiosity. And I said, yes. So German.
Ding, ding.
And then Kelley says, yo, what's my STVRR? Straight to video Russian
So here's
roulette.
the question. Not to yuck anybody's yum. But why?
Well, it's based on a novel, so
It
it's
is.
just
Oh.
a German novel. It's German.
A lady wrote this novel.
A German lady.
A German lady.
So it's okay, Amy. A lady did it.
And then a man made a movie out of it.
Yeah.
A German
So
man.
now how do you feel about it?
So he made it better.
I can tell you, though, it was one of the better movies I've seen in a long time. It's really, really good. Carla Juri, I think her name is. It's really awesome.
I'm okay. I don't need to see it, and I don't need anybody convincing me to.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's got a super
I said
sweet
thank you.
message. It's really very Parent Trappy. Because she keeps trying to get her...
What?
The whole movie is her trying to get her divorced parents
Please
back
stop.
together.
Yeah. No, that's what it... That every description... I read like 4 different synopses, and the main point is her trying to get her divorced parents
And it
to
is
reunite.
so fucking sweet. It is one of the most heartwarming... That's what makes it great, is because it's a heartwarming movie with tons of grosser... It's like grosser than gross.
It is.
Plus the Parent Trap.
Diarrhea. Cha-cha-cha.
So I do highly recommend it. Not if you're squeamish.
I don't know,
About
like,
bodily
I am.
functions.
Or in German, squeamish.
Squeamish.
I don't think I'm
I'm
going to watch
surprised
it.
you are so squeamish, Dr. Balak.
I'm not going to watch it just because Freddie was so pushy about it.
That's right.
See, and Andy's like, I'm not a contrarian.
I'm going to go against my own best interests to a movie I probably like.
You're going to start
It's okay.
voting Republican, aren't
Yeah.
you? Oh, you
I
little
accept
bitch.
that, Andy. It doesn't bother me a bit that you'll deprive yourself of something you'll enjoy.
Okay, here's
It's
why
your life.
I have to say I got kind of perturbed because I have an old phone. I refuse to upgrade because phones aren't free anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and my phone still works.
Yeah.
And when I get like a flurry of texts on a row, a lot of times
Were
my
you
phone-
jerking off on your phone?
No,
And you're like, "Argh!" He's like, oh God, oh God.
I do hate
I mean,
that, by the way.
I'm not saying I wasn't jerking off, but I wasn't doing it
okay.
on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I actually was jerking off.
Oh my God.
That explains a lot.
And you were getting in my way.
Yeah.
But my phone overheats when I get a lot of texts in a row.
Oh, it
and-
really does?
Yeah.
I was just kidding about that.
And it
No,
burns
Is
the
that
hole.
seriously,
true?
it does. It goes, and I got the little battery
Oh,
signal. It
because
says-
Andy's cheap. We're not allowed to have
It's okay.
fun.
Do you know how to mute a conversation?
His phone might not be able to do
I
that.
couldn't
Yeah.
mute it because it was coming so fast and
It
furious.
was coming so fast and furious.
But had I left you out, you'd been like, what's this conversation
Yeah, you
you
would've
guys
been
are having
sad.
that I wasn't part of?
You know you would have been sad. I can't figure
I'm
you
a very
out.
complex person.
You
though.
are. You're complicated. It's okay. We're all complicated.
You're like a French filmmaker's plot.
But yes,
Except for me.
I probably will watch this movie in spite of Freddie's pushiness.
I really do want to know what other people thought
But
about
Amy-
He kept trying to make me watch it. I'm like,
But
no.
Amy agrees Freddie's very pushy
Oh,
about
he's
things.
extremely pushy, but I love him.
it. Yeah.
I love him so much.
And the worst part is sometimes he's right.
I know.
Mm.
Don't even get me started.
Show dogs, man.
Instead of watching that, we watched The 40-Year-Old Virgin yesterday.
I love that
I
movie
ain't
too.
seen that in a minute, son.
Does it hold up?
Oh, it's awesome. It's even better. And then we started Ocean's 11.
Freddie and I have been watching The Goldbergs.
Great show.
It is.
I love that show.
We didn't
Big-
like it when we first
That's
started.
what I remember you saying that. Big,
It's fun.
Big Tasty is the man.
I do love Big Tasty.
I've been getting wrecked by This Is Us.
Aww.
Just started.
So
Y'all
you're
heard
in the
about that
first
crock
season?
pot?
Yeah, the
had-
crock pot, apparently.
I had the
something
best time listening to Mike and Andy talk about This Is Us this morning while I was doing the dishes. They were, Andy was saying he was going down a checklist of tropes that he
Yep.
expected to happen. in
Colin,
This
by
Is
the
Us.
way, really likes This Is Us.
Yeah,
My
I'll have to check it
mother-in-law
out.
and
I heard it's
sister-in-law
great.
love it.
It's if you need to cry, it's pretty cathartic. But yeah, Andy's right. I mean, Andy's trying to make the point that it's what do you call it?
Cliche.
Wait, maybe no, he
It's
doesn't.
emotionally
Something else.
manipulative.
Emotionally manipulative.
And I was just going through like things I assumed happened, and I was right 75% of the time, right?
You were right. Pretty. Yep. 75%. I'd say 75%. You're correct.
I know it's not for me. Like, I'm just not. I'm already like a hot emotional mess all the time. So I don't need extra.
Uh-huh.
That's why I like Real Housewives of Atlanta.
But it's here. Oh, so here's what kept me away from it, and here's what maybe might help if anybody wants.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say it's a fun show. I'm not a fun show. I don't know what it is. I've been entertained.
It's a
You're
TV
allowed.
show for sure.
I've flown
Don't even
through.
worry about
I've
it.
flown through the first season pretty quickly,
Lots of people love it.
but it's kind of the Pixar suite.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that. the beginning of Up.
bittersweet.
You
Yes.
got a friend in me.
You know something. It's going to be incredibly sweet, but at the same time,
It's just-
Ooh.
I know I'm a Pixar defender, and
I just burped. Sorry,
I
y'all.
will defend it till the day I die.
I want you to.
regardless of its flaws. But I feel
What's wrong with Pixar?
No, I love
No,
Pixar.
I'm talking about some people think it's very emotionally manipulative too. But
Well, it is.
All movies
Yeah.
are. Anyway, go ahead.
I just feel Pixar's more organic and is ringing of the tears.
It's more I mean, it's definitely more grounded. But yeah,
It's because it's a movie too, and bad shit can't happen every week on a show.
That's true, but it does on the show. I got
The hardest
to
thing in this world is to live in it, Andy.
the one that made me laugh and cry at the same time was when the overweight guy flies across the country to proclaim his love to his girlfriend, and then has a heart attack at the end of the episode.
An old man.
I am.
And then I realized that was kind of emotionally manipulative. I don't know. I feel like I need somebody to talk to this about, but I feel like this is not a show that's going to connect with any of you guys.
All right, listeners.
I
That's your
would
cue.
love,
Email
I
Mikey
love
B.
that stuff.
Yeah.
I love
It sounds like Parenthood a little
crying
bit.
and-
Like Parenthood or...
Yeah.
Well, that's so. I remember I watched a little bit of Parenthood, but then I decided it was too much. But my mother-in-law and sister-in-law love that show, and they love to cry and watch that show. And now they're all on the This Is Us
Yeah,
boat.
my
And they're like,
ex-wife
"Watch
and her
this."
brother loved the shit out of Parenthood. I did not, but I was forced to engage in it quite a bit. So that it may have... maybe I would have liked this show if I hadn't been
I need a good
held down and force-fed, something like that.
When you were younger, were you
Family
more
drama.
of like a Parenthood, or were you more of a Father of the Bride?
Father of the Bride.
Parenthood.
Parenthood.
I don't
Amy?
remember either of them. I know I've seen them.
Okay.
Parenthood's such a great
I
movie.
like a little zaniness.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Billy Zane.
I thought you meant Zayn
I need
from One
zaniness.
Direction.
I need Billy Zane. I need Zane Grey.
Zangief.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
Yeah.
Just your friendly reminder that Horror Hound Weekend's coming up.
What?
HorrorHoundWeekend.com.
E.T. reunion.
Yeah.
And Sting is coming, but not
Drew Barrymore is going to be
Sting.
there.
Drew Barrymore. Not
Is E.T.
Sting the
going to be there?
wrestler.
However, Ron Perlman
Yeah, Ron Perlman.
will be.
If you need to get rid of a speak and say, you could probably speak and spell.
Speak and spell.
Thank you.
If you need to.
If you need to get rid of one, I bet you can sell it that week.
We just hung out with Nate and Jessica. Nate, of course, being the editor-in-chief of Horror Hound magazine.
Scarlet Lane Brewing was at Cincinnati Beer Fest.
They had the Horror Hound Ale Part 2, which
Uh-huh.
was very
What
good.
the ale?
I like it more than
They
the
should have called it
first one.
Return of Horror Hound Ale.
Return of the
They missed an opportunity there.
ale.
Whorehound Ale is dead. The final Whorehound Ale.
Yep.
Oh.
They
The
know
new
they
ale.
make last one.
The new ale mare.
Bobby Gimlin's going to be at Horror Hound.
That's right.
He was one half of the Patterson Gimlin film. Well, you didn't see him. He wasn't in it because all you saw was a real Sasquatch.
Real deal, baby.
100% verified.
So that's
Not
your
a suit.
friendly reminder.
I don't think it is a suit. There's a lot of evidence to say that it's not a suit.
Any
Lot of
other
Hollywood professionals?
housekeeping before we move on?
Weighed
We
in.
suddenly trust
All
Hollywood
right.
professionals.
We do when it comes to making fake
Boys.
movies.
Yeah, I know when I go to the doctor
Boys.
and he's like, "You want a second opinion? I can refer you to a Hollywood professional."
They didn't.
I
They,
always take them up. on
they
it.
didn't make well, but what about when you go to the? What about when you go to the? Is this movie fake or real? Do you go to a doctor for that? Would you trust? A
I
doctor's
do, and the
opinion?
doctor's like, "That's a man in a suit I know from biology class."
And then the Hollywood people who are like, they didn't make that kind of hair mesh in '67. It would cost too much. You could see where it contours to different muscle groupings in the body.
You're listening to Bigfoot, not a Bigfoot.
Kelly, can I just say that your undying belief brings me so much joy.
Good.
Makes,
It's
yeah.
a Patterson Gimlin film that solidified it for me.
The day you stop believing in
Yeah.
Bigfoot, I'm going to drown myself in my bathtub.
Everyone is. The whole world is going to walk into the ocean.
I mean, I'm not saying I have doubts, but I'm willing to believe.
You should have doubts. Everyone should have
Yeah.
doubts.
but I
agnostic.
just love how you never lost your sense of wonder.
No, man. Everyone who's interested in having their doubts assuaged needs to find their piece of evidence that convinces them.
They need
wanna-
to give Faith a fighting chance.
Yeah. Do you want to make a Bigfoot and the Slender Man buddy cop movie?
Slender Man's not real.
All right, everybody.
All All right, I'm sorry.
That was fun.
I'm sorry.
We'll be right back.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
I wish you'd said that.
And
on
we're
recording.
back. Freddie said a thing
I just said living Sasquatch
with Queen Latifah.
with Queen Latifah.
All right, Kelly,
Oh, I forgot I had to do this.
break it down.
All right.
The Hatred,
The Hatred.
directed by Mikey Hiho, who we know.
Yeah.
I pronounced it the Hat Red.
Well,
He did a really fun short once called Hush.
yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
I might have watched that.
This is a compliment sandwich. I thought I'd say something positive before you started.
It's all right. Look.
That's not what you said before.
No. What I mean is, like,
No, all he said was he just.
it's all right to do that because
Oh.
this is going to happen. Actually, I don't have too much to say about this movie. In its most basic form, there is a house. There's a house.
New Orleans?
And these 5 pretty ladies who are college students and educated and smart, they go to it. I do appreciate, I guess, that they were trying to break out of the whole, like, 5 ditzy blondes with big old boobies getting their lingerie and then get killed. But there's, it doesn't make it any better. It actually might suffer for that. I'm just kidding, but like it's real boring. They go to this country house that their professor owns. They're very into like Nazi history, and there is a Nazi. There's Nazi memorabilia there, basically.
Dear God.
It's not a collect. When I say that jokingly. It's a piece of. It's a pendant that Hitler or they bestowed upon this Nazi that used to live there. To take care of, and it's kind of haunted. And
Is this in Germany or something?
it's sort of the no.
Oh.
But this is what's funny.
Don't hit my husband.
I wasn't hitting him.
You hit him.
I'll hit you.
He bruises easily.
It was kind of the amulet.
You did hit
Yeah.
him, though,
The
right?
amulet that's hidden at this farm is kind of the Lochnar of the movie. It makes people do stuff, I think. Because at the beginning, here's one thing. The beginning is the best part. And
Just like the skin.
I had to check 3 times to make sure I was watching the right movie. Because the synopsis for the movie kept talking about 5 women go to a farm. But this starts with a Nazi who used to be a Nazi soldier and has relocated to America in the, 40s or 50s. And he's now Amish? Menon? I don't know. He's something.
Yeah.
He owns a farm with his wife and his daughter, and he's it's the Wishmaster.
Yeah,
Andrew Divoff.
Yeah, saw he was in this.
But he was good. I liked his performance. But it was kind of weird. It's one of these. It was shot in kind of like in a way that I appreciate, sort of, because it's trying to be serious, But it just he's kind of trying to keep his daughter. His daughter wants to go off and be with her friends and hang out, and he's like, "You will not go any far. I am fat German." And his wife is like, "What's happening?" And he murders his daughter in the barn,
yeah.
drowns the shit out of her.
Yeah.
After he receives this, it's a fucking iron cross. He's got out, and he hides it out in the barn. And I could never tell if they knew that he used to be a Nazi or not.
Yeah.
I would think they wouldn't, because
For listeners who don't know, an Iron Cross is a commendation you get in the German army in the 40s.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't know that. I just a cross that is made of iron.
Well, it is. I don't know that it was.
I'm
like
sorry, Andy.
the-
Iron.
Iron.
I don't know if it was the actual the award, but it was shaped like the Iron Cross. But it was it was an amulet. It was about that big. Maybe it was. I don't know. But it comes to him, and the letter is like, "Take good care of this. This is how Hitler wants to say thank you for you being so bad." And so he hides it in the wall in the barn, and then his daughter comes out, and she's like, "I want to go to town," and he's like, "You don't need to go to town," and she's like, "I want to," and so then he drowns her in like a water bucket.
This is town. I call this bucket town.
And then
Get it? It's a joke.
And then I guess he buries her, and then his wife poisons him because she figures it out. So the daughter goes missing, and of course he is acting extremely suspicious. He's like, "I do not have to answer your questions. She's just not here." Like, it's clear that he murdered her to everyone involved. The cop comes out and he's like, well, we'll be watching you. And this is why I wasn't sure if they knew that he was a Nazi. They were like, this town welcomed you, and you were welcomed, and despite your past and blah blah blah. It's like, I can't imagine like a Nebraska town welcoming a former Nazi soldier in the 40s or 50s. Anyway, that's like the first 25 minutes of the movie. Like, and I'm like, am I watching the right thing? There are no college ladies going anywhere. Then after that, like first like half hour, then it says present day.
Like there's like half an hour of setup.
It felt like a half hour.
Oh, okay.
It might only been. I said 25 minutes. It might only been 10. I'm not sure. It felt like a half hour.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and look to be sure.
Kelley.
It was long. Listen.
Yeah. No, you're allowed to think that.
It was a very long setup. Anyway, but it was the best part because then these ladies and they're gonna go together to this place and they're all chitty chatty, and I started to kind of like,
women be talking.
no, it's just women can be. I'm chitty chatty.
They're like, have you seen the latest episode of This Is Us?
But no one wants to watch a movie about me being chitty chatty on the couch. They go out to this place. I sort of started to fade in and out. I might have been a little drunk.
Bourbon slushes.
Yeah. Was that what I was drinking yesterday? No, yesterday was White Russians. It's a nice day for a White Russian.
That's just milk.
But I had like
vodka, right?
I like no.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I had like 4 of them.
Sounds gross.
Oh, they're delicious.
I don't really. Kahlua.
It's Kahlua, cream, and vodka and ice.
Is it heavy cream?
Yeah.
Oh, that's rich.
I can't do
rich.
it.
They're
I don't
delicious.
like White Russians.
I think you would. Maybe with
I've had them. I'm not a big fan.
But did you?
I don't like a creamy alcoholic drink. Plus, I'm not a big vodka person.
Well,
Kahlua and vodka.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And if you dropped the vodka down to 1 shot instead of 2, the way we were doing 2 shots, but you might have liked it better with just 1 shot.
It's more like chocolate milk that way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But anyway, so I kind of started fading in and out. The ladies get there. Weird things start to happen. I guess it's the ghost of the girl. They slam some doors. They talk about Nazi history. They help her get out through a doggy door.
Not a big recommend then.
I'm going to go ahead and... no. No, it wasn't... Here's the thing. It didn't make me angry.
Right.
There's a It didn't make me angry.
You're not like, this isn't a movie.
It was just...
It is definitely a movie.
It was just impossible to keep paying attention to.
Right. That'll happen.
I was pretty excited for it to be over.
Yeah.
So I could watch Ocean's 11, which is what I really wanted to watch.
Right.
But then we were too drunk and we went to sleep.
Freddie and I got real drunk at Beer Fest.
Oh boy, did she.
I blame Nathan. Nathan is
that was
the
funny.
fault in our stars. And Freddie, we get home and he turns on something called Death Spa.
Yeah, Death Spa.
Which,
and I was I just passed out in the middle of it, but it was really weird.
You kept saying, I love this movie. Where's the spin on my life? And she did. And I something I want to talk to you guys is a possible theme around that later, but I did text everybody in the heat of the moment.
I agreed.
Yeah. I just didn't know what we had planned, so you may hear more about Death Spa in the future if you don't already know everything about it.
But I passed out.
Deathbed, the bed that eats people.
We could be late to Death Spa. I think everybody else has seen it, but
all right, well, thank you, Kelley.
Yeah. You're very welcome.
Let's shoot some people, shall we? But I only
At
have
least
one bullet.
one.
So I'm up first.
Ooh.
I know. The youngest person in the room. She died too young. Let's hope not. I live. Freddie, here you go. Oh shit, bro! What'd you pick for yourself?
Okay. This is a new Netflix original called The Open House.
Oregano.
Which doesn't look bad. Following a tragedy, a mother and her teen son moved to a relative's vacant vacation home where eerie and unexplained forces conspire against them. It's directed by 2 people, Matt Angel and Suzanne Coote.
It's trending right now on Netflix.
Your mom and sister were saying they didn't care for it.
I thought you were going to say my mom and sister were trending on Netflix.
Your mom is. Cast Dylan Minnette, who I recognize that kid from something.
He's been in all kinds of things.
Piercy Dalton and Patricia Bethune, or Bethune. I don't know how she pronounces it.
Speaking of Open House, do you guys remember a couple years ago, Jordan Peele wrote a movie. It was kind of like a horror comedy about a couple trying to buy a house, and the house was haunted. And like I think Adam Scott was in it, and it was like there was just like a trailer for it. And I don't know if it ever got released. And like it was like it was built up. It looked awesome, and then it like went nowhere. And it was called like Open House or The Realtor or
Freddie, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
I know I'm doing something else.
No.
Me too.
No, you're not.
Amy's trying to find the answer. Yeah, but the open house looks interesting enough.
Yeah, I saw
Andy's
that.
shaking his head no. He's seen it. He's saying no. I've chosen poorly. I just grabbed the newest movie I could find that was easy to watch.
You took the bullet, Freddie.
This is great.
Yeah, it is.
Did you see Hell Baby? That was
I haven't seen Hell Baby yet, but I want to.
Yeah. Amy?
I like Rob. What's his face?
Yeah, how you doing over there?
I can't find what you're talking about.
I think you made it up, Kelley.
No, but I tell you what, sometimes this does happen where I'll see something and like it'll seem intriguing to me and then it'll go nowhere, and then like 5 years later I'm like, what happened to that? And there's no. Can I give you two other examples? There was I saw a trailer for like basically a homemade zombie movie called 2.
Somehow made it.
Somehow made it, and it was just about these two people. It was like seriously like shot on like a camcorder. There was a trailer for it, and it's these two people in a zombie apocalypse, like a couple trying to like survive, and it was like wintry, and it looked interesting. Never been able to find anything about it ever again. And then there was a movie that I saw a trailer for called Zombies vs. Robots, and it had a little like stop motion or I don't know what they were, but they're little animated cute robots, and they're zombies.
My notorious example of that is Worst Case Scenario. Do you remember that?
Is this the Mandela effect in effect?
Basically.
Yeah,
The
maybe.
Mengele
It was
effect?
Nazi zombies. It had an awesome trailer with these zeppelins
Yeah.
dropping like paratrooping zombies out of them and stuff.
That sounds awesome. What's it called?
It was called Worst Case Scenario, and they were going to make like a feature out of it, and it never
Worst
happened.
case scenario. I know what you're talking about. I never saw the trailer, but listen, they used to have a series of. They had like a book.
They did?
The worst case scenario. Yeah, and it was like full of shit like that.
Yeah, but this specifically was a World War II horror movie.
Right, but I think that was like inspired by
Because
like.
Worst Case Scenario also had like what happens if you drive your car off into the water.
Well, yeah, it was like that, but I feel like there was like an entry about zombies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe.
There was a worst case scenario zombie edition.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, well, ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. If you know that movie, find it.
This week's main attraction is from 1981. It's the animated anthology Canadian film Heavy Metal.
In
In the 1970s, there was a publisher named Leonard Mogul who went to France. And he was like, we're from France. And he found this magazine called Metal Holland. And it was these awesome sci-fi fantasy stories, the boobies in them. And he said, I need to take this to America. And he did. And they called it Heavy Metal.
I love Heavy Metal magazine. It was a huge inspiration on every creative thing I've ever done.
You can tell when you look at your artwork.
Yeah. We see all the titties in your artwork.
Yeah. So if you know the artist Mobius,
Yeah.
a lot of his stuff was in there. If you've seen Jodorowsky's
Bernie Wrightson.
Bernie
Yeah.
Wrightson, yeah. This is just such a fun movie.
It is one of my absolute favorite. I was so excited when you said you might pick this because it's just I've watched this so many times.
Yeah, it's great. There's this green ball of evil called the Lochnar.
It's my Lochnar.
And this character Grimaldi the astronaut takes his space Corvette.
It's super 80s. Like the animation is like this very particular time.
It looks like the Aha video.
Yeah. Well, it's rotoscoping, which is where they film live actors and then draw over them.
Was it though? Because like Ralph Bakshi really like perfected rotoscoping. Is that why? I feel like they didn't do as good a job as he did though. Like
I think in the beginning, just in the beginning, like,
that's
where
what I
the
mean.
Corvette's coming through.
That
the
was
atmosphere.
definitely rotoscoping. Yeah,
but I don't think there's rotoscoping anywhere
The entire
else.
film is rotoscoped.
I thought it seemed like there were different artists that did different segments.
sure.
There are different artists. So what they drew over the original material varies. So sometimes rotoscoping, they'll draw trace basically, but sometimes they'll rotoscope and they'll draw like an alien head. So that's where you're seeing the difference.
But they're tracing over live action.
Yeah.
Yes.
That makes more sense because, and just to real quick talk about it, because Elise had said like that the animation kind of it weirdly, like we had a great time watching it together, but she said the animation made her almost like a little nauseous. Like
it was
like
very jittery.
And
I
had
feel
the
like
same
that always
moment.
added to it for me.
well, same for sure, and I think for both of us it did too. It was just like a thing that I had never really thought about. But like if you watch Ralph Bakshi, like Wizards or The Lord of the Rings or American Pop or any of that,
oh, I love that one.
yeah,
That's
it's
my
good.
favorite one.
His rotoscoping is very like dead on the like it's it's still cartoony, but like I feel like the artists and animators really try to maintain the look of people, like in this I feel like the artists tried to make it more comic booky, and so maybe that's why like the people's faces were wide and weird and
right. Well, then there were also I believe different artists
exactly. Well, I knew
contributing to each segment, so you're going to get a wide range of style. Even though I do think it's consistent throughout, it has a look that is like when you see it, it's heavy metal.
And I love the anime. It's like so unique unto itself. Like, but it's so 80s watching that Corvette come out of the fucking space shuttle. And he's like,
it's such great soundtrack too.
Yeah,
like,
it does. My favorite Blue Oyster Cult song is in this movie.
Oh, that's your favorite?
Veteran of Psychic Wars. Yeah.
That is a good one.
The movie Waking Life, is that rotoscope? Nobody?
I've never seen that.
Never seen it?
From A Scanner Darkly is.
Okay, so that's the same. I think
that's
it's
like
both
very
Richard Link.
advanced.
Okay, I didn't know if that was the
version.
same thing.
I think they even called it. They had like their own name for that type of.
Okay.
So
little girl. You think she
The
can get
daughter
fucked by the Lochnar?
Yeah.
She doesn't.
Yeah, there is something really
Spoiler alert.
sexual about the way the Lochnar corners her, and
Yeah, and was about to go up her skirt, and then it doesn't.
I didn't feel that, but y'all are just
I think as
too many tits.
as boys,
No, we all
maybe
Elise picked
we
up on
were
it
too.
too.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
There was something like very like
Made me nervous.
There was
I know
something
that much.
rapey about the Lochnar.
Yeah, there was.
Well, the Lochnar is pure evil. I mean,
Yeah. Well, it melts her dad,
Yeah.
the astronaut. He comes home. She's like, "What'd you bring me?" He's like, "Something terrible." And he opens up the box, and she's like, "Fuck, it is terrible."
There's a lot of melting in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lochnar
Melting
has
and titties.
Yeah.
this really fantastic voice, like James Earl Jones adjacent.
Yeah.
This guy didn't even. I don't think he was credited.
I'm going to show you stories of terror
Yeah.
before I kill you.
He's like, He's basically saying how he's influenced the galaxies and everything, and mostly it's like I've fucked people's lives up.
Yeah.
So get ready to hear some messed up stories
Yeah.
because I'm bored, I guess, and I want to tell stories.
I'm the Lochnar.
I'm the Lochnar, and I need to connect all these tales.
And the first one is my favorite,
Mhm.
The Fifth Element.
Harry Canyon.
Yeah, Harry Canyon's pretty great.
Yeah.
Is that a play on words?
Maybe.
Certainly. I want to really talk about how Fifth Elementy this is. Like, again, I didn't even realize in the past, the last time I watched this, which is probably when I was like 25 or 20. Well, I've probably watched it since then, but I didn't even notice that the little alien creatures at the beginning look just like the Mondachiwan.
Yeah, the lumbering,
Yeah.
June bug looking things.
I caught it this time, and so then I started like ticking off things like where I was watching for what is specifically like Fifth Element.
Yeah.
So there were them. There was even just the scene where they show like all the cars like in the air passing over the building. The way he looks kind of like
It's Corbin Dallas.
It's Corbin Dallas, but grosser and not
Yeah.
like attractive at all. Even when he gets mugged by the punk guy, just like Corbin Dallas does, and when he takes his weapon, he throws it in a collection of other weapons. I mean, there are like specific things from the Fifth Element. It is like crazy. But then once they start fucking, it kind of stops being the Fifth Element.
Well, he fucked Lilu.
He did, but like not like it goes like to a like more.
And basically, that's the Lilu character because he kind of like just
Yeah.
falls at his doorstep.
She falls. He takes her back to his place. He tries
It's
to
got
give her to the cops.
Got the red hair and everything.
The white outfit, even though it's less skimpy.
Yeah.
But I feel like it does start to like get less specific. I feel like Fifth Element didn't take from the second half.
Well, you also got to consider the source material of heavy metal is French.
Yeah.
These stories were in that magazine.
Yeah, and Luc Besson.
And Luc Besson made film. I mean, like, this makes sense that like he would reference this material as clearly like an influence on him.
Sure. I'm just saying some of this isn't just like referenced. It's like specific.
You don't think it's an homage?
I'm
In
sure.
Fifth Element?
I'm sure that's what he would say. But like, I'm just saying, like,
It's very, very.
it is like
specifically
exact
lifted.
scene, like exact things.
So here's the thing I was worried about. So he helps the lady exchange the Lochnar for money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, let's set it
And
up.
they're gonna.
It's 13 years in the future, the year 2031, New York City. Cars are flying. You have a laser that will blast people out of your back seat if they fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
As a cab driver.
And that's my question.
And there you go. Sorry, now you can go on.
So she has the money and she's in the back of the taxi and they're going to split the money.
Oh, wait, we haven't gotten there. You're getting way to the end.
Oh, well, I mean,
Way to
how
the
much of
end.
this do you have to... Okay.
He rescues her.
Yeah.
Her dad's assassinated. It's all about the Lochnar still. This is the focus of it, and the gangster wants to
Rudnick.
He wants
sell
the
it.
Lochnar.
He looks like the melting man.
He does.
So Harry helps the lady sell the Lochnar.
And they go fucking straight noir with you on this because you have the femme fatale. She double crosses him.
She tries
She
to
takes out her
double-cross.
giant naturals.
But only after, taking out her giant naturals, and they screw to Open Arms by Journey.
Mm-hmm.
How
Like
do
so
you,
many
Kelley?
teenagers have at proms.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm going to kill you and take the money.
Go on, take the money around. That
And
was
so
not on the
he's-
soundtrack.
He's going to hit his little button that he has that vaporizes the person in the back seat. Now, here's my question. Why doesn't it vaporize the money? It only vaporizes flesh?
No, it does close, too.
Yeah, because her clothes come off first
We
as
get
she's
w-
being vaporized.
You get one final look at her titties.
Yeah.
Before she.
That's
goes
what he
into-
said it for. He said it to biologicals and
Titty coverings.
and textiles.
Textiles and biologicals.
Yeah.
But wasn't the money like setting off to the side?
I hope so. I really worried about the money.
He got the money because he says, let's just chalk this up as, what did he call it?
A big tip.
A 2-day ride with one hell of a tip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I Cars movies too much.
Remember?
I was really worried.
Can we talk about the mayonnaise that he put on his sandwich with that aerosol
It was
can?
aerosol. It was kind of cool. Aerosol mayonnaise.
Awful.
But it was like
It's my nightmare.
The way it oozed out. It was Mike had to turn away.
It was the
Couldn't
amount
do
of
it.
it.
and I was like, it's safe. You can watch now. And then he takes a bite out of the sandwich, and the mayonnaise runs down his chin. And Mike's
the
like,
worst.
"Arr!"
I'm sorry that happened to you, Mike.
It did happen to me.
I
And
know.
it hurt.
We
Mayonnaise
should-
is awful. It's of the devil.
And I want to point out that you hear John Candy's voice for the first time in this one as the cops. He's pretty much every cop in the story,
Yeah.
and that's fun.
All right. What was the next one? I don't remember.
This was Den.
Yeah, the Lochnar takes off and ends up in this teenage boy's bedroom.
And
I think Den is my least favorite.
this is the Cthulhu-y one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Ulatek.
I love
This is the one where he
I
has a
love
big
this one
dork.
too.
yeah.
He's got
I
to
love-
get his dork covered.
I love all the stories. The last one is actually my least favorite, which I know is most people's favorite.
It's also
Tarna.
my least favorite.
But it is, yeah, let's high five about
Yeah,
that.
it's. Oh, sorry. Wait, there's a better high five.
Tarna's okay. This one I just thought was kind of doofy.
Well, it's like a teenage boy's fantasy.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
the whole movie is, but even more so this story.
Well, Tarna's the most Mobius of all of them. Like, it's the one that
Yeah.
looks like his stuff, and I think it's even his story.
Yeah.
so Dan, this little nerdy kid,
Yeah,
gets transported to another realm.
Well, I don't think his name when he was a kid.
he was Dan.
Was he Dan?
Turns to Den.
And
He becomes
Den.
Den.
All right.
He's Dan, then he's Den.
He like he goes through the universe into this other place, and he's
Yeah.
all muscular with a big old pee-pee.
With a big dork.
But you don't see it.
You see a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah, you do when he's
don't.
flipping around.
Yeah.
like
when-
for like a hot second.
No, when he grows, it shows it a few times.
We
It's like,
okay, the
that's
Amy's
part of the
point is
gag.
we saw it, but it's not gratuitous.
Oh yeah, they don't
Like
show a
the-
bunch of
like-
it.
because then
like
he's
the
standing
titties
there.
and vaginas.
You couldn't tell if it
Yeah.
was circumcised or
Yeah.
not. It's
Yeah.
pretty far
Because
off
he's
in the
just
distance.
standing there when he gets there, and it's covered. His whole waist is covered by rocks.
And then he says, "I
If it
can't
had
walk
been-
around with my dork hanging out."
If it had been a woman, which later on it is, he runs into a lady from
Yeah.
from Great Britain,
Well, you can thank the MPAA for this.
and she's got
Is that right?
her tits and bush out.
They didn't want to show dicks. I'm sure that's why they had to
Yeah.
obscure that for the rating.
I don't know.
Doesn't
That's
matter.
a good question.
I
You know
think it might
what?
be.
We're on to you back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
We're on to you.
We cracked the code.
So
we got receipts.
He becomes this like big muscular dude.
It's just a sword and sorcery story.
Yeah, and he
basically.
rescues a damsel in distress. They
They were gonna sacrifice to backwards Cthulhu.
Yeah.
bone down. Now he's like 13 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Just transformed.
I didn't even realize that.
Did you know in the original story
Oh shit!
that he's a little boy and that woman's like an 87-year-old woman?
No.
And that when he goes through, he becomes this character, and when she goes through, she becomes this young woman.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ulatek, though, I didn't realize Cthulhu backwards.
Yeah,
basically.
Ulatek is Cthulhu.
That's
spelled
fucking
backwards.
awesome. You
Yeah.
just clued me in, bro.
Yeah,
Bro.
Yeah. Straight up, man. Straight up.
But this segment did have my favorite character in the whole thing.
Oh, Ard.
Oh,
The super gay.
Yeah.
Ard.
I
that's
guess
my
God-
Lochnar. Give me that.
You
It gets
stupid
king.
bitch.
Like, it's my Lochnar, you stupid bitch.
He is a great character.
He's just
Yeah.
so like unabashedly gay.
When he's running around in his little toga.
Yeah.
Do you think he was like supposed to be like a James Spader-esque from the 80s character?
Oh, this
That's what
was
I
before.
got.
This was pre-James Spader.
Well, then
Yeah.
that's what he's doing.
He was
And all
supposed
the
to be
other-
like a Caligula type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Well, the voice and the mannerisms.
King
he
Herod
was very much.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is a reference directly in this. Well, two things. The composer Bernstein did the music to Ten Commandments.
Did he also do the music to Ghostbusters? Because there were like 2 music cues in this movie that
I
were like
agree.
straight Ghostbusters.
I don't think he did.
When they're on the bridge in the first one, and it's like bum bum bum, like
But I will check for you. But it's
catch.
Elmer Bernstein. But he did the music for Ten Commandments, and there's
Yeah.
even the reference when what's his name? Dan looks down and says, "Oh, this is like a scene straight out of the Ten Commandments."
Yeah.
And then he has kind of like that similar cue, there.
which I would choose that for my podcaster's choice.
It's a
but
great movie.
It's a great movie, but it's too long for him.
Yeah.
So basically, Den saves the lady, destroys the bad things, and rides off into the sunset with
But-
his hot bitch, right?
But the Lochnar didn't really do anything bad to Dan. So it brought ruin
No.
upon other people, but
But yeah, the other people were fighting,
but he
and
got
they
off
were.
kind of scot free. I thought
He did do Ghostbusters.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I am the
pretty great.
greatest man alive.
He also did the Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
I want listeners to understand what just fucking happened.
it's big.
The thing about
I didn't even know, and I was just like, I think that these cues are very similar. I bet he did it, and I was right.
Oh my lord!
you are amazing.
Worship my ear.
So
Anyway,
Andy's question about the Lochnar. The point of that story is he can resist the Lochnar. That's why nothing bad happens to him.
Because he's so pure of heart.
he's just a
Yeah,
good
he
dude.
just wants to get some strange. He wants that 87-year-old poontang.
One of my favorite, maybe my favorite scene in the whole movie is when they split up and he's walking in the room and he's got his hands out like to try and find his way, and the light comes on and he's got the queen's giant titties in his hands.
I like her henchmen.
So many
are
great
like,
titties
Not
in this
again.
movie.
They're
Yeah.
like, she's the
No
queen.
woman in this film was wearing a bra
Or a shirt, usually.
most
either.
of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
All right, what was the next one?
After Den. Whoops, sorry.
Was this the World War II, or was this the
No, Captain Stern.
Oh, Captain Stern,
Which
yeah.
which is Bernie Wrightson's story. He wrote this
Yeah.
one, and it's his art. And
This gave me a Space Ace feel.
Yeah, it was very
Yeah.
space age. And actually, what's funny is this is not typical of Bernie Wrightson's art style. It was like a real cartoony. Usually, he does horror stuff, but
Is this,
Yeah.
is this Hand Over Fist?
yeah, Hanover
Hanover
Fist.
Yeah, it looked like something out of Cracked magazine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always reminded me of Ichabod Crane from the
well, the
Legends
way
of the-
because of the big nose and the turkey neck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How was the Lochnar involved in this again?
It was a marble that Hanover Fist had picked
that's right.
up.
That's right. That's right.
And he was being bribed by Captain Stern as a character witness because Captain Stern had like 22 counts of murder.
an angle.
Yeah. And this is very much Zap Brannigan.
Yeah.
Only to the extreme where he has no soul.
So
Yeah.
was Hanover Fist already a Hulk character, or
No,
the Lochnar did that
to him.
Okay.
Yeah, they did not expect him to do what he did.
Right. He was supposed to just be this pushover who would get up there, say nice things about Captain Stern, and help get him off on all these
I don't
horrible
think that was going to
crimes.
do it, but okay.
Well,
Yeah.
this is in space, and it is
That's
You're right.
a cartoon. So in cartoon logic, certainly, probably.
When I was a kid, I always really loved this one because the way it's very much like that Gollum from Lord of the Rings, back and forth where he's like he's a great man, and unless you count the time he had the preschooler prostitution ring.
Great line. by the
That
way.
was dark.
Yeah,
It was dark.
Great line.
A preschool
opens-
prostitution ring. I mean, damn.
Along with the murder, he's being accused of like 32 counts of rape
Yeah,
as
that's
well. So it's a pretty dark.
Yeah, he's the nicest man I know, except for when he's so dope disguised as a nun.
So, but is there a twist at the end?
This one is very simple. It's basically...
But Captain Stern's like, thanks, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. And
they
like,
changed it from the original story where, in the end, I don't remember if he kills Captain Stern, but he lives. And then there's some connective material missing here where there was, if you have like the DVD of this movie, there's an extra segment they cut because they thought it was too long for theaters. And it was called Neverwhere Land. And it shows how this Lochnar leaves that story and ends up on this planet, and it affects everything from like the creation of their version of mankind through all these wars that eventually end their in their world and all this, and then it moves to the B-17 one, the World War II story.
Oh, yeah.
So, but they cut that Neverwhere Land out because it made the movie too long. Which
they do mention Neverwhere in the movie once.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, towards the end, I think too, where it says something about coming from Neverwhere.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
The B-52 one was my second fave.
B-17.
Yeah,
get your bombers right.
It's also my second favorite. We haven't got to my favorite yet, but
this is Dan O'Bannon. You can tell.
Yeah.
Who listeners probably know. He wrote Return of the Living Dead
and Alien.
Yeah. And this is a little bit of both.
Those
things. I know. B-17, Amy.
But Andy, this one really broke your heart.
Well, I finally realized like this movie really bothered me after this segment because Lochnar's just a dick.
Yeah, it's evil. I told you that. Killed that
Lochnar's a
girl's
hardcore
dad.
dick.
At the
He's a
beginning,
big
you weren't
dork.
upset about it.
But this one, it's because other segments, it brought ruin on people because it was trying to, I guess, use its power. But this one, it just lashed onto a plane and started fucking with people.
Turn them into zombies.
Yeah.
So fucking
It was
cool.
These are innocent people.
Yeah, Andy wanted it to be a morality tale
Yeah.
where only bad people were punished, but
The animation in this one is my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it really works for this segment especially. Really cool.
yeah.
So cool, Brewster.
This one scared the shit out of me when I was a
Me
kid.
too, especially when like he first goes down into like the what do they call the balls where the guy hangs with the gun?
Yeah, the gunnery. What do they call that part again?
I don't know,
The
the
bubble.
balls.
It's like some
The
kind of
gun bubble.
turret.
The gun bubble.
It's a gun bubble.
They
I'm
go into the
sorry.
bottom side gun bubble.
Yeah.
And
Bottom side gun.
when he falls down in there and the
Bubble gun?
the guy's a zombie and you just hear what's happening.
Yeah, and the blood's trickling under the glass.
It was fucking great.
Yeah, it's real eerie the way the Lochnar will burn away all the meat and leave these like skeletal. Well, when I was a kid, this is a very personal connection. I'd seen this movie when I was really little, and then my parents took me to the Air Force Museum in Dayton.
Yeah.
And they had a bomber that was, I don't know if it was a B-17. It was very similar to the one in the
B-52?
movie.
They used to
Might have been a
Enola-
B-52, Amy.
They used to have the Enola Gay there. They did when I went there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
And
creepy.
I wonder if it was the Enola. It'd be some shit if I didn't. I was pretty little when we went, and I remember being terrified of that because you walk through it, and it has the ropes, and I remember like
Yeah.
the velvety rope type thing that
yeah.
they would stabilize on that catwalk over where they would drop the bombs out.
Right.
And they had wax figures that looked just like these characters in the movie, not skeletonized and all that stuff.
It
But
would have been
like,
awesome if they'd done that.
but it was super creepy because I think I remember there even being bullet holes and stuff in this bomber.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was a real legit. It had seen action, and at least that's the way they sold it at the museum. And terrified of it. So in rewatching this, I remember I was triggered a couple of times of things that were real spooky. Like after they've been in this dogfight, and these he's going to check on everybody. Only people left are the pilot and the co-pilot.
Yeah.
And the co-pilot goes back into the body of the ship, and there's holes in it. And you can see out into the night sky all these stars.
Well, and you can hear it whistling,
and you
too.
hear the wind whistling through all
Yeah.
the bullet holes and through the big gaping hole. And he's just finding
Yeah.
body after body in the back of the ship, and they're all horribly
Very, very
mangled.
haunted. Very alien.
Yeah.
Like, just such a haunted house in a technological kind of workspace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's just so spooky.
It is. That's what's great about it.
And then the shit hits the fan, and the pilot is about to bite it, and he escapes. He parachutes out, and he lands on an island.
Yeah.
And this is like the mwah moment. It's a airplane graveyard, and it's full of these fucking
Full
zombies.
of zombies.
And I'm just like,
See,
I want a whole movie of this.
And the Lochnar probably brought all those planes down too.
Yeah, who knows?
Mhm.
Well,
Certainly.
Easy dick.
maybe it's a commentary on anybody that fights in a war.
Bad Lochnar. bad.
Now we're getting to my favorite.
So beautiful and so dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you like the redhead secretary lady?
This one was fun, but it made no sense.
I liked everything about this because it
had nothing to do with the fucking Lochnar.
It was just goofy and silly, but also just like groovy. Like I just
so groovy.
It was super groovy. Everything about this, and just like her conversation with the robot, like, "Can we have a Jewish wedding?" It was just, it was really cute, and they just like are snorting massive amounts of space schnee.
And you get a lot of SCTV in this one.
Yeah.
You get like Harold Ramis.
Yeah,
John Candy's in this one again as the robot. I think Eugene Levy, maybe? Yeah, Eugene Levy, Joe Flaherty. Yeah.
Where was the
really
Lochnar in this one?
Oh, yeah, and Roger
She
Bumpus.
had in her pendant.
But what did it do?
My theory was that the Lochnar brought ruin upon the robot because she wanted to marry him at the end.
Well, he wanted to marry her.
Yeah, he wanted to marry her, and that was his punishment.
I also love the spaceship.
Being married to this like nagging Jewish wife.
Yeah, it is one of the great spaceship designs.
And it's kind of become iconic. Like I feel like it's kind of iconic. I can't remember the word iconic. I was like
iconography.
I feel like there's like a shorter word than that.
Well, there's a great setup in this one where this doctor comes to. It's very like Dr. Strangelove, where this doctor shows up at the Pentagon to brief everybody on like extraterrestrials, and his whole thing is to convince them they don't exist. Turns out as an android, it's a plant just to keep people off the scent of the Earth's not to know.
Right.
That all this shit's going on around them. And I think the Lochnar, makes it malfunction. Yeah. And that's where, that's its influence in this particular story. And then if malfunctions, they have to recall the robot, and they accidentally also suck up
the secretary.
And then that's where the romance comes
Nosedive.
That's some good Nyborg.
I fucking love this one. Is by far my favorite.
It was cute. I was just trying to understand why, but it was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was I thought it had the tightest writing too, and like everybody. I feel like everything about that one just like clicked 100%.
I always felt that Futurama kind of borrowed a lot of tone from this short.
Definitely.
We get to the bounce back to the wraparound into the final story, Tarna. And this is more of a classic like sword and sorcery
even
story.
more so than the other one. Yeah,
right. It's not whimsical like Den. This one is like a hardcore guts and glory story.
Is she the Tarlac?
Silver pubes.
She is the last of her kind.
Is the Tarlac.
What happens is the Lochnar lands in this volcano, and there's this tribe of barbarians that are awash in its evil lava, and it turns them into these green monster men.
Mm-hmm.
And their leader decides they're going to wreak havoc.
That old chestnut.
Like, you
They will kill anyone who opposes them.
And they're threatening this city.
Yeah, they're marauding almost like Genghis Khan.
And their elders are like, we got to get the Tarlac here. Meanwhile, little baby in a jacket downstairs is like, they're at the door.
It was so adorable.
I said to Andy we should create a cosplay for this. The bald page boy who's wearing like briefs and like a page boy jacket and a big giant bow around his neck.
Yeah, the top was like Dandy Fop.
Yeah.
The bottom was like Circuit Boy.
Yeah.
What? So they have in the gay world, they're called circuit parties where people just go and dance and fuck.
Oh, okay. So the mean green people destroy this city, but they've managed to summon the last Tarlac.
Mike made a great point during this that if she wasn't so slow getting dressed, they would have survived.
Yeah. Like
she took a long time.
Leisurely flying trip in on her bird.
Mm-hmm. Was this the one where she looked like She-Man?
Mm-hmm. No,
She-Ra?
That was Dan.
That was Dan. That was the queen.
That was all.
Yes,
that was all,
this was the slow dressing bird flyer. Yeah,
silver pubes.
Yes. She comes into this temple and like just
she swims across
leisurely.
Yeah. Everything she does is very sensual.
Yes, and then dresses in the least efficient like armor.
It's
what is
turn
this
back.
supposed to be?
It's like Cher's costume in Turn Back Time video.
Like, and she's gonna go fight with this.
It's
shit.
for movement, ease of movement.
Yeah, that's right.
Then why wear anything?
She's deadly.
Like heels? Really? Really?
If you want to have fun, Google Tarna cosplay. We looked them up last night.
And how can
is there a bunch?
There's a bunch, and there are people of all shapes and sizes doing it.
How
That's
can
really
you
fun.
fight with a ribbon up your ass? I don't get it.
Well, I
Is
think
all
never
I'm trying to
tried
say.
I mean, it's probably not any harder than fighting in pants.
I don't
Then you
know.
feel like you constantly have something scraping against your asshole.
I don't know that she notices that anymore. She's a hardcore warrior.
You're right. You're right. When you're right, and she gets her sword, and then she leisurely flies off again.
We should mention she's mute.
Yeah, she never says.
There's no
So
dialogue.
it is a
from
male
her.
fantasy, like a hot woman that doesn't
Doesn't
talk.
speak.
She's got silver pubes,
Yeah.
and she finds the bad guys,
She
and
kills a lot of bad guys.
you know,
Yeah,
she takes care of business,
She kicks ass.
takes names.
We-
Andy was very, very worried about the bird,
Yeah.
but he saves the day, and he dies, and that's well.
This-
Did he?
He didn't die.
No, they kind of.
They sacrificed himself at the end.
They both
They
end
both
up-
dove into the volcano.
Well, they got electrified. She did her
Yeah.
Power of Grayskull thing over
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So you don't know if she really died or not, but the Loch-Nar's like, don't sacrifice yourself. I can't be stopped. And she's like, I don't think so. Because that's how she really sounds if she talked.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, good choice. And
She's a gay southerner.
it's like, I don't know. Voiced by Leslie Jordan. They had to cut it out for the theatrical release.
This is a lot of people's favorite. This is the one that everybody seems to.
Well, it's.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was a little too long, a little too
Yeah.
leisurely.
Yeah. It's probably the most like artistic, I'm using air
Yeah.
quotes, like of all of the entries.
Right.
I mean, I imagine that had to be hard to draw the flying and all that stuff. So good on you, but it's like let's get to it.
I really like
Yeah.
the score.
Yeah.
It's really soothing. There it is.
Yeah.
And
So then you go back to the wraparound.
yeah, the Grimaldi storyline with the little girl whose daddy just got melted.
She's a
just got melted and the Loch-Nar's up your curve. Your
And the-
skirt.
Loch-Nar's
That's what I tried
like,
to say.
oh shit, you're a fucking Tarlac, and
Yeah.
then she flies away. Right?
Yeah.
Her hair turns gray, the little girl, and she's gonna destroy it one day.
I think Andy made this observation during the movie first, but when he made it, it definitely made a lot of sense. If you've seen the Netflix toys, what's the toys? How the toys were made?
Freddie, what's the name of that show?
What's the name of that show, Freddie?
The toys that made us.
The toys that made us. The He-Man. There's
You
a
watch that?
lot of influence from. You can tell.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Was He-Man first or this first?
This was first, I think.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, yeah, this
just
was
barely,
first.
though.
Yeah.
There's a lot
By a
of
couple years.
similar. It seemed like when I saw things that, because I remember like seeing this as a kid and it kind of being more of a nightmarish thing for me than something I think I saw it too.
Was it all the boobies?
Too young? Yeah, too young. Because it just seems like a lot of these things kind of resonated with me in different ways, but a lot of it's like, man, I can remember owning that toy and He-Man.
Yeah.
These things they're flying around on. They had shirts on, but
I wouldn't be surprised, really, if
sort of.
if the development of like because the toys obviously were what came first, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were in direct result of this movie. Like, we need to like get some toys out that will that these kids will like.
Definitely watch the toys that made us because they get into.
Well, I watched the Star Wars one. So far.
Well, they do the He-Man one. There is a
Yeah.
He-Man one, and they
It's
get into
fantastic.
like the genesis of it.
Yeah.
And it does start off as a much darker concept.
Yeah.
When they lighten it up.
Would you like to know what a sexist my husband is? He's like, honey, I have the Barbie one for you here. We can watch the Barbie one. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about?
But you didn't. But you were like, okay.
No.
No.
And I was like, I want to watch it though.
I never wanted to. Well, fine.
I gotta know.
I didn't see heavy metal till I was probably 11 or 12. My brother showed it to me, and it's one of my favorite memories of him. It was I fucking fell in love with it
So
immediately.
you probably saw at the right age, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This feels like a 12 to
Yeah.
15-year-old, like perfect.
It hit my sweet spot. Like,
Yeah.
When did
Yeah.
you first see it, babe?
I think I was like when we first got HBO, I want to say, or the movie channel.
Yeah.
I think I was 7 or 8.
Yeah, that seems. I think 7
That's
or 8.
way too young.
It was HBO
Well, it
HBO
was-
preview weekend. I think when I saw it.
I had the same experience
Whoa.
Mike had, where this movie has evolved for me. I've seen it. I've watched it many, many times, and like every time, well, like the first few times I saw it, it was a scary ass movie to me.
Yeah.
All of the stories,
Yeah.
even the Even the one with hand over fist scared me as a kid. Because the way he was
Sure.
erratic and the way he was chasing him, I know now it plays as comedy, but then it was terrifying.
I
There's
get
a
it.
lot of like upsetting death scenes in this. That's the part because I feel like in my mind when I saw I don't think I ever went back to visit it again until now. But in my mind, it was all just music video vignettes and lots of things melting.
Yeah.
But just seeing it again, I was like, oh yeah, like this is some of the stuff that like in my mind are like, yeah, I kind of remember this, and I remember being really terrified of those scenes.
Amy,
I feel like
Amy, have you seen it before?
Yeah, Freddie made me watch it years ago.
Made her.
Well, yeah, because I was like, I don't know what this is, and we watched it.
What'd you think of it back then?
I don't remember at all. I didn't remember a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
So when we watched it this time, it was really good.
I feel like
fun.
we need to do maybe a bonus ep where a couple of us watch Wizards and do a compare contrast.
Well, there's also a movie called Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I remember Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of that.
I've never
too.
actually seen it, but I mean I know about it.
If you like heavy metal, try to find Rock and Roll. I think it's pretty easily available now.
But also, just to get, if you like heavy metal, do not ever watch the heavy metal sequel that came out in the Heavy Metal 2000.
Yeah, it's a real disappointment.
Is that the one with like the female gladiator with the metal breastplates?
Yeah, and she was voiced by some like porn star at the time. I don't. She was like,
oh really? I didn't
real
remember.
Popular in that moment of time.
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, this film like kind of goes there with like Watership Down and Secrets of Nim of like things in my mind that I watched as a kid that just really unsettled me.
Barry Nelson, who worked on some of this film, also did Watership Down.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Watership Down is terrifying.
I've never revisited that film. I probably need to just to kind of clear it because this definitely cleared it for me. It's actually kind of a cozy movie now.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing it, there's a lot of comedy and funny things
This
to
is
laugh
the first
at.
time I saw it, and I think I don't know. I think I would have liked it a lot more as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Or felt more rebellious.
Yeah, but I was too busy carsing it.
Yeah.
And like being upset by the Lochnar itself. Because Lochnar's just mean.
Yeah, you wanted those people to be punished, and some of them didn't deserve
There's
it.
too much evil in our current world.
Interesting side note. Did you know that I think it was either just Kevin Eastman or Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, bought heavy metal.
They're still publishing it too, yeah.
And that's also where I think the Ninja Turtles were birthed.
Yeah,
because that's a pretty dark origin.
Yeah, he I think he was just a big fan.
In a half shell.
And ended
Turtle
up buying
power.
it, like reviving it.
Which I'm glad because it was gonna die. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I think it's like they do it like 6 times a year or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
It might be just quarterly, actually.
Yeah.
Is it an anthology? Is it?
It's all kinds of stuff. There's like a couple. There'll be like art, just standalone art. Sometimes there'll be like a comic in it, and then there's like reviews of stuff too.
Okay.
Oh, it's so great. The covers are amazing.
I think it was really cool just watch this movie and seeing how many other things were influenced by it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a history lesson watching this movie.
What I love about Heavy Metal Magazine is it's part of the underground comic scene, but it's the part that I like because I don't love like all that R. Crumb kind of stuff,
right?
Like the real weird hippie, like I don't like that style. But this was a part of that, like those sort of sword and sorcery comics, like that were real heavy on like sex and like real violent. They were also a part of that underground comic scene in like the 60s and 70s, and that's kind of what heavy metal partially contributed to that. So that is the part of underground comics that I like.
Were you a Fritz the Cat fan at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
What about Don Bluth? Is he connected to? And I mean, no, he didn't do any art on any of it, but
he wasn't connected to this film. But I could see why you would think that from the look of it.
About Fritz the Cat, I am going to rewatch it. I rewatched it a few years ago. Fritz the Cat, another Ralph Bakshi, by the way, movie, and then an R. Crumb comic. It does not hold up. It is such a time capsule, and not in a way where you're like, oh, this is like, not in a good educational way, but like it is like it's like watching a sitcom, like a forgotten sitcom that wasn't groundbreaking from like 1970.
You mean the movie or the comic?
The movie. I've never read any of the Fritz comics.
Yeah, the movie is another one of those ones I saw way too young, and I remember
it
bothered me.
we rented that because we thought it was a cartoon.
Yeah,
it looked like a kid's movie.
Yeah, and then we got our mom to rent it for us, and we watched and like, wait a minute.
Was she watching it with you guys?
No, thank God.
Oh yeah.
This is the one from Fritz the Cat was the one that's in Different Strokes, right? Isn't this the one he takes one of the kids into the basement and watches Fritz the Cat?
Oh yeah,
It's
Gordon
like a
Jump. I
very
don't know if
special
that-
episode.
I don't know if
of-
that was the movie he watched.
maybe
He
in my
definitely showed
mind.
him stuff, but
I thought there was a Fritz the Cat in one of our TV shows we grew up with.
Yeah, maybe.
it
It did have the lady from 227 as a
Jackie?
voice. No, the Mary
Jackie.
That's
Pearl?
okay.
Rosetta Lenoir.
Jackie
Oh,
was
not
Mary.
Mary. I mean, like hanging out the window.
Oh, Pearl.
Pearl!
Yeah. I
But
think
like-
it was her. No. Oh, that's me being racist.
Get out!
It was the grandma from Family Matters is what I was thinking of. She was that. I don't know why. I crossed up two old black ladies.
but this Fritz is like
It's like crossing the streams.
Yeah.
Mixed up.
it is so like late 60s like it is like weird attitudes and just like social it is so
weird attitude.
weird.
Weird attitude.
Well, it seems like as a parody of the time.
Well, it is, but if
No, like looking back on it, like a current person's idea of what the '60s was.
yeah, I
It
don't
just
know.
Seems very. It's a cartoon, but it seems cartoony.
Yeah, well, it is cartoony, but even so, like, I mean, it was made at the time, and it just, like, there's this conversation where these guys are talking about, like, yeah, my daughter's on birth control. It's like this weird thing about people's weird feelings about, like, getting married. It's such a time capsule, but, like, a really specific one.
Right.
Too specific.
Well, the Fritz the Cat stuff, they were really deliberately, they were reveling in the fact that they got an X rating.
No, I know.
And like, that's like, they were like, oh, we're just going to go all the way.
It's not all the sex and drugs I'm talking about. It's
Yeah.
like these...
The little human elements that
Yeah.
they threw in there for like drama.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it just like you could like see like where
Like Woody Allen-esque
yeah
kind of conversations.
and you could just see where the divide was between like the old guard and then young people, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just it's actually a little scary when you like the way that you could see that the attitudes were of, you know, the sort of 40s and 50s generation that like built everything and how they felt like, you know, all these young people were disgraceful and ungrateful and just gross.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. You just take my word for it or watch it.
Do whatever.
Fritz the Cat was in Different Strokes.
Yeah, it was.
Dudley got molested by the Bicycle Man episode.
Yeah.
Really? Well, you remember they made a follow-up back. She did that movie, Coonskin. I apologize for the...
Is that
that's
true?
The title, yeah.
I did not. This one I don't know about.
Yeah,
Let me see.
there's a still from it. You can find this on IMDb if you're curious.
Oh boy.
It's incredibly racist.
Good boy.
Oh boy.
And it had some big name voice actor, not voice actors, but big names
Actors doing
voices.
I bet that's not going to show up on Netflix anytime soon.
Probably not. It had Barry White in it. Scatman Crothers was in it. But
So
Bicycle Man.
it's not racist
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
involved, right?
Oh boy.
it's worse.
My favorite.
I'm not getting into that conversation.
No, it's like validation. There's
No,
Real quick.
no,
My
Andy,
favorite.
just look at one still from this movie and tell me it's not racist.
Oh,
Maybe
no.
they're in on the joke.
All right.
My favorite line from the Different Strokes molestation episode is when Gordon Jump, Mr. What was his name on WKRP?
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
he tells
owned the radio station.
he tells Arnold and Dudley, "You can have an awful lot of fun with your clothes off."
Mm-hmm.
That is true, though.
I
is
remember.
true.
I don't remember anything else about the episode, but I remember that.
Well, when I
line.
googled it, it's him serving Dudley pie.
yeah,
I thought you were gonna say Dudley Realness.
Jesus pie.
What'd you just break, Andy?
It's just stuff.
Oh my god.
It's just things.
All right. Well, Freddy,
What is that?
I don't know.
it's tape. Freddy,
Oh, yes, ma'am.
thank you for your choice. I think we all had a lot of fun with it.
Thank you for all the titties.
I'm glad.
Deaths.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tits.
This is a long, you'll go down a rabbit hole if you start looking at everything the people involved with heavy metal worked on and Bakshi worked on.
Yeah.
You'll find stuff that nobody would be caught dead associating themselves with now, which is a fun history lesson.
Yeah.
And, excuse me,
Don't die.
I had to cough. You probably heard it.
So what?
Speaking of Bakshi, one last fun fact about homages. Ralph Bakshi said that Peter Jackson ripped him off with his Lord of the Rings, and while I don't believe he ripped him off in a very similar...
You mean because they did that whip, where there's a whip, there's a way song in both movies?
That wasn't Ralph Bakshi's.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't him?
No.
Oh, I didn't know
His
that.
Lord of the Rings is all rotoscope. That was Rankin Bass.
Which one did the Hobbit one?
Rankin Bass.
Okay.
And they did a Return of the King. I don't know why, just that one. But Ralph Bakshi did like the first half of Lord of the Rings and just called it Lord of the Rings. And there is the scene where the hobbits meet Strider and where they meet the first Nazgul and they climb under the tree. That is very much lifted from Ralph Bakshi's Lord of the Rings. Go back and watch that. It is, and then compare. It's straight up. Just very much like Luc Besson's homage to heavy metal.
Mm-hmm. Got a question for you before you do the patrons.
Uh-huh.
In heavy metal, they had the Lochnar, and they kept losing it, wanting to find it. So the question is, what have you lost that you'd like to find?
My sense of wonder.
I was hoping you would never lose that. Anybody?
Well, there are definitely a lot of photographs that I know are somewhere that I would like to find. A lot of photos of me as a teenager that are in a specific photo album at the house that my ex-wife now occupies. And it's hard now to try and get over there and search
Have
for
your
it.
children do it.
Well, they can't.
They're your inside man.
Are you worried they're going to find something they shouldn't?
No, I just don't think they're going to try very hard.
They're going to find Coonskin on DVD.
Yeah.
Next to Song of the South.
What is this, Dad?
That I wish. Well, yeah. So I just don't think that they're going to be very good. They're not good at looking for things.
Yeah.
No offense to you boys if you ever listen to this, but you're just not.
You're not good. Everything was going great until my dad said I wasn't good for looking for things. Then everything was downhill from there. That's when I
Freddy's
started
not
using.
Good at looking for things. Do you have something you lost that you want?
Yeah, we have this fan in the living room that you can control with a remote control, and I miss it a lot.
I think I know where that remote is. You idiot.
Oh. I mean, besides that, I would say my sense of wonder. I have to go with Andy on that one.
Mine was a joke one. Haven't lost my sense of wonder.
I lost my girlish figure, and I sure would like to get it back.
My non-diabetic body.
Oh yeah, feeling in my feet.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about objects.
It can be as abstract as you want.
Yeah, I would like to have feeling in my feet again.
I'm gonna say my virginity.
Oh.
Andy, you've lost everything.
Because I'm not pure anymore.
You talking about your Hong Kong ears that you lost?
Oh, you have lost a lot.
Yeah.
I do lose a lot of things, but for real answer, like I remember my parents used to have a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have kept a lot of the like tiki glasses that we served our fun drinks in.
Yeah.
We have a couple, but like there's some I remember that were real cool that I wish I had still.
It's awesome. Mine, believe it or not, I was a real awkward early teen.
No.
I know, right? So I did a lot of magic, and I had a lot of I know. I was a magician, and I worked with a guy that was going to help me become a magician, but I was too nervous to get in front of people. Yeah, it was Gordon Jump. He offered me pie and told me how much fun I could have with my clothes on. Anyhow, I had a ton of magic stuff, and I could do I had a whole little, like, 3 or 4 different magic routines.
That's
acts
awesome.
that I did, but I never really did it for anybody else. And I always hope I could find all my magic stuff because there was a lot of money of magic. Good close-up magic. I spent a lot of time in my early teenage years trying, and I can't find any of that stuff.
I'm sorry you didn't go on to become a magician.
Maybe that's how good of a magician you were. You made it disappear.
I did. I made it all disappear.
Mike, if you ever find it, we could you could set up in front of the booth at Horror Hound and do tricks.
Do some tricks.
I knew a kid
Turn some
tricks. I knew a kid who did magic, and he went on to become a magician.
Was it Ryan?
No, it's Phil Dalton, magician Phil Dalton.
Because also Ryan Swigert, shout out to him, very talented entertainer, magician. I started to say musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does all kinds of cool shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is
But
crazy.
don't
And
give up. You can still do it.
a weird connection was the guy. I went to the flea market, so I would go to the flea market, and he would teach me the tricks, and then I would buy
This
them or
sounds like
whatever.
we should write. You should write this.
Yeah,
This is a good story.
But well, this part isn't, so maybe
Oh.
I should just stop. Anyhow, he got accused of touching some kids, and so he asked me to be a character witness, and then I stopped doing magic. He never touched me though, so there's a highlight.
there
well,
was
there's
a
a highlight because
Gordon
maybe you got
Jones
out at just the right time.
he was into girls.
You dodged a wiener bug.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why didn't he touch me?
Oh, Andy.
Yeah, he would be all anxious.
So I'm the last of the Tarlacs,
You're the last.
and my movie is for the next show. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It's gonna be hard to find though when I feel bad. It's Mermaids, and I think I'm not even sure it's available to rent on iTunes.
I'll get
So-
it for you, Amy.
Well, what about
I'm gonna
everybody
take care of
else?
it right now. You guys can come over and watch it with us.
All right, it's Mermaids. It's Cher,
Yeah.
Oh,
Winona.
Winona Forever.
Yeah.
So it's something I remember watching a lot when I was a young lady.
Who's the other lady?
As a kid.
I used to watch.
No,
some-
who's Cher's
kids
mom
don't
in
count.
that? It's
It's
an older
Snap
lady.
Out of It. Is that from
I don't
Mermaids?
know.
That's Moonstruck.
Okay.
It's Winona, Cher, and somebody else.
It's from 1990.
It's on Prime.
Oh.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, but not him.
Christina Ricci. That's
it.
right.
Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
I used to watch this all the time on HBO because
Yeah.
it was a constant rotation on HBO.
Yeah, that's probably where
Yeah.
I saw it too. So it's a little coming of age story.
Can I
about
tell
ladies.
you? I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I never had any interest.
All right.
It's very
now-
good.
No,
I'm
I
forcing
have
you.
interest now.
Yeah.
I just when it came out, I was
You
like,
weren't a girl that was coming of age.
It's in his
Yeah.
kiss, right? That's the Cher song that
Yeah.
came from this. Yeah.
also a song in Made to Order. They sing "It's in His Kiss" a million times.
Mm.
That's Ali Sheedy and Beverly D'Angelo.
Oh yeah.
And Tom Skerritt. And Charles Nelson Riley.
What?
You
All
should
right.
know also, just so you know,
What?
the director of Mermaids,
Merms.
What?
of Merms,
Oh, is it like one of those Did You Hear type things?
he was in Westworld.
Oh. Was it Yul
The
Brynner?
movie
It's,
or the...
it's Richard Benjamin. You know him.
Dick Benny.
You'll know him when you see him.
Dickie Benz.
But he's been in a ton of stuff. I think he was in Saturday the
Sneeze.
14th.
Yeah.
So the director has horror cred, is my point.
Oh, it's all
And,
about the Dick
uh,
Benjamins.
Yeah.
You know, so
baby.
it's got that going for
All right, so now's the time where we talk about our Beelzebubs. Again, patreon.com/NOTLP. You got that extra $1.50 a week now, guys. Tax cuts. Share
Amy's
the wealth.
snapping.
All right, so we're going to start from the bottom.
That was our Foley.
Till we're here.
That was good Foley work. She wasn't actually snapping.
Yeah. I had to go into the studio after and smack two pieces of meat together.
Yeah.
We're going to start with Jimmy B.
Jimmy, how you doing?
Then we got Amanda.
Oh, we're doing them in weird order?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're going-
Amanda, hi.
From the bottom up. It devours you starting with your bottom. Lots of Buffy
Amanda.
references for you today. Elise.
I love you when I was your son.
LOL. That's my joke from earlier.
Yeah, you call back.
Mikey P.
What's up, Mikey P?
From
Mikey B.
Ah! Mark Watts.
Mark.
So much power.
21 Chico Mike Watts. Mark Watts. Mark Watts. Mark Watts.
Mark White.
Mark Watts.
Yeah, you keep saying the correct thing. It covers out your mistake.
I was talking too fast.
Amorpha?
Blake.
I'm sorry, who?
Balake.
Oh, no.
But you down in Texas.
We got Bill.
Bill?
And
Hey,
New
Bill.
York Schroeder.
How's
New
that
York
Pace
City.
Picante sauce?
Yeah, how was
Oh,
it?
you don't have it there because it's made New York City. Not made New York City.
Bill.
Max Headroom?
Bill.
Oh my god. Brandon Boone, who we
Georgie?
saw
Yeah.
at Beer Fest.
Brandon Boone was in the silent disco wiggling his butt.
That is adorable. Oh my god, I'm gonna jerk
They had
off
a
to
si-
that. To that imagery.
They had a silent disco.
Disgusting. Yeah, they did.
Thank you, Brandon.
That's disturbing.
Andy, you don't have to say everything that comes to mind.
I'm okay with you saying it.
Yeah.
We've
I
got-
think Brandon would be very flattered that
We're not ever going to leave you two in a room alone together.
That's over with now.
Oh, if
Andy's
you
a
can't-
sexual predator.
If you can't leave people in a room alone with people that you've jerked off to, then I shouldn't be in a room with anyone.
My dogs?
They're not people.
Yes,
They
are.
think they're people.
They're
Do you
not
think you jerked off to them?
They're not human beings.
Elsa loves you.
I love hot chocolate.
Treat Alex.
Baby.
Tria and Alex.
Oh.
Treat and Alex. Treat and Alex. I don't know.
We got to write a cartoon theme song for you guys.
I wish we had a forest full of trees and Alex's.
Kelly can't be in a room with them either.
We've got Albert.
Albert.
What's up, Albert?
My boy.
Can't be in a room with Albert either.
Oh, he already knows that.
We've got Ernest,
Ernest.
aka Ernie.
Hugs and love to Mr. Ernie.
Brooke.
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 You're I just can't even put it in words.
We've got Adam.
Oh, Adam. Adam, what do you give the man who has everything?
And we've got
How's Steve?
we've got Jeremy Bergmeister.
Oh, had fun with you guys last weekend?
Yeah, that was a good
You
time.
gave him the plague or something.
Yeah.
He's sick.
I gave them the plague.
Yeah.
That guy was like,
physically,
I
here's
want you
the
to
plague.
take this.
Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh.
You're like,
want-
it's a Lochnar. It's not bringing me any good. You guys should have it.
Yeah.
We
It's
got
your Lochnar, you bitch.
It's your lock logger.
our local friend Zach.
That's right. Also, he was sick.
Yeah.
Everybody's been sick.
I'm not feeling great right now, I'm going to tell you that.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And our newest Beelzebub Mandy.
Welcome to the club.
Mandy.
Mandy, you're
You
a fine
came
girl.
and you came and you saved me.
Oh, Mandy.
Thank you.
Then you came and
There's an actual song called Mandy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
With
that's the
Bear
song
Manilow.
I was
You're doing
trying.
Brandy.
Brandy, no, Brandy, you're a fine girl.
Brandy, you're a
What
fine
good
girl.
wife you'll
Mandy,
be.
you came.
But my love, my
Mandy,
life,
you
and
said-
my lady is the
I was
sea.
hoping Freddie
Yeah.
would
So I
get the
can't
right
fuck
words for
you.
me.
What?
I guess I can marry. You get married. I can fuck her though. Wait, Brandy.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Fine girl.
You're not saying.
My life, my love, and my lady is the sea.
Yeah.
Could you
So I
treat,
can't marry Brandy, but I can fuck her. I
you
guess.
should treat our Beelzebubs with a little more respect.
Not that. What?
You're like.
Brandy.
You just said you're going to masturbate to all of them and fuck them.
No,
Andy said that.
I'm out.
Andy's going to do it. Everybody's
All right,
gonna
we're
get-
going.
I'm
think
talking about the
that
song
should-
Brandy.
They should be flattered that I masturbate to them.
In the movie Wetlands, I forgot to say in my series of texts, she goes home with all this cum all over her hands.
Oh no.
Nope.
And she goes and she handles all the vegetables in the refrigerator, has sex with them, and puts them back.
So she can get pregnant?
So next week,
That's
I
what
don't
they
think
make
it works that
spray
way.
mayonnaise out of.
we're going to have a wholesome show.
Thank you.
Freddie's going to review the open house.
We're gonna review Merms.
And we're all going to talk about merms.
Well, me and Kelly are going to make it real dirty.
Yeah, it's gonna be super dirty. And be like,
Filth monsters.
Winona's big brown beaver.
Make some fish jokes.
Yeah,
My name is Mud.
that's right.
Not to be confused with
Bunch of prize.
All right, everybody. Have a great week.
Give it good love. Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he